Hello and welcome to this week's Craft and Chat. I'm Amanda Fowler. This is the Inspiring Income Facebook page and YouTube channel. 29th of October 2024. If you're here live, could you do me a quick sound and light check? If you're here watching the replay, please be aware there's probably 20 minutes or so of chatting before I'm going to start crafting. And the crafting today is some sneak peeks of new products that are launching next week. So let me see. Oh, look, my little inspiring inking. Hang on, let me just move my camera. Oh, I can't really move it over. My little inspiring inking sign isn't glowing. Bear with me. I will make it glow. There, that's better. And just in case you can't see, Christmas has come to the studio. There is Christmas trees and gnomes and various other accoutrements. Now, I'm going to apologize right now. I've got a sore throat and I've got a tickly cough and I've got 3 lives today. So I'm going to be drinking quite a lot of water and hoping that it doesn't stop, as in my voice. So let's see. Scylla is here. Good afternoon. All's good. Thank you, Scylla. Donna's here. From our lovely friends in Oz. Sandy's here and Michelle's here. Brilliant. Thank you. So that's a range of YouTube and Facebook. So that means I'm live in both places, which is always good. So do let me know what you got up to at the weekend or during the week, or have you got any exciting news? I had a customer I was chatting to about an order the other day, and she's a new grandma. She's got a grandbaby. It's very exciting. So, you know, they can be fur babies, they can be real babies, they can be birthdays, they can be something as simple as I treated myself to a cup of coffee and a piece of cake in a cafe, because, you know, we are all worth it. I think it's important that we treat ourselves. Amanda Gately from Oz too. Yes. Cool name, Amanda. There's not that many of us about, I don't think. Awesome. I'm so excited. Oh no, Sandy. I hope you're getting better soon. I hope you're being kind to yourself and lots of fluids. She's got a chest infection, a horrendous cough. And Ali's here as well. How are you doing, Ali? You any better? Okay, so let me know what you've been up to. So I did mention last week that things were all a little crazy. Well, to be honest, I think the wheels fell off about Thursday. I do talk about this. I don't mind talking about the fact that my wheels have fallen off. my world is lopsided. It's a fact of life, isn't it? Sometimes we just have too much stuff going on in our world that we need to get done, and it needs to get done. So we get it done, and then we end up in the snotty heap. Well, that's kind of where I was on Sunday. So I had a wonderful weekend. It was the online Christmas retreat, and we had a lot of fun. Lots and lots of projects were made. And as well as that, I had the honor of doing a presentation for one of my dear friends, Linda, who is also in Australia. She was running a retreat event for her team, and she asked me to present. So I did a filmed presentation, but I've been kind of hanging out in the Facebook group with them. So that's been really lovely. Connor's been here. So yeah, so things have, yeah, it's just been busy, but it's nearly November. And November starts to get quieter, and I'm pleased about that, actually. So I've got, what have I got going on? I've got a few classes, few in-person classes, I think 3, 1, 2, yeah, 3 left this year. So 2 card classes and 1 in-person retreat. And I've got Craft Along tonight. I've got 1 in November and 1 in December. And then it'll be Christmas. Just in case anyone needed reminding, Christmas is coming. But on Sunday, so like I said, you know, I was exhausted. By Sunday, I went into my happy place, which quite often is the craft room, but in this case was the kitchen. And I cooked and I baked and I just chilled out all of Sunday. Brian and Connor were working in the bathroom, and then we went to the beach. And we went to the beach about 3:30. Sunset now. Now the clocks have gone back. Sunset is now 4:30, which is rubbish. It's proper dark by 5:30. Makes me sad. And I know that we need the daylight in the mornings, but even so. So it was really lovely. And Connor takes lots of photographs. So we were messing around with photographs and all sorts of things. So we had a really lovely time. So I am completely reset now. That's all it took. Baking and a walk on the beach. And yeah, we're all good now. So let's see what everyone else has been doing. Donna's saying it's been quiet. That's a good thing, Donna, isn't it? A bit of calm in your world. Lorraine, hello. So Ali's leg's better, but she's having a scan because of her cough and breathing. Darn. Hopefully that'll get sorted out. Hello, Anne. Oh, that's good then. So Anne and Scylla are here. I have cards from them to share with you. So this one is from the lovely Anne. Isn't that really cool? I love this kind of, oh no, going that way. Going that way. Okay. So when I'm working, when I'm filming, everything's backwards. I don't know whether you know this. And I'm saying, is it? Oh, no, it's not backward. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I can never figure out which, if I can't see it, I don't know which bit I'm pointing at. So bear with me. So I like the way this goes. Can't do it from there to there. I've got some stamps, some different stamps. I think I'll put that to one side and do a craft and chat with sort of layouts. That was a very convoluted way of saying that. And then look at this Buzzy Bee card from Scylla. How cool is that? And how much patience, Scylla, to cut out all of those hexagons and then assemble them like that. That's very cool. So thank you to both of you. Getting cards is awesome. So I'm going to set you a mission this week. My guess is you have a few cards dotted out. Some of us have many cards, particularly since I did a stamper stack for the retreat, and I've actually now got 2 sets of all the cards. So that's 40 cards, plus all the other Christmas cards I've been making for all my events and things. I've got a lot of cards. But I'm not talking about Christmas cards. It's a tad early even for me to send Christmas cards. But why not send a thinking of you card to a friend or a family member, or I don't know, the person, the doggy daycare person who looks after your fur ball, or it could be anybody. But we all make cards, I am convinced, because we love receiving them as much as anything else. So why not send one? So, and then next week, send one this week. And then next week, we can count up how many we sent. So, you know, that would be really awesome. So you could send more than one, but one is the start. So let's have a look. Anne, I want your weather. Apparently Yorkshire's lovely. It's like, it's got grayer and grayer and grayer here today. So much so that I had to put the lights on a little while ago. Oh, Amanda's finished a mini album for a Christmas present. That is awesome. Mini albums are one of my favorite things ever. And making them for Christmas presents is really good. Mum's here. Hello. Pauline to everybody else. Oh, Lorraine. She's just back from Bayeux after a few days away. Lovely to be back in France. Did you go and see the tapestry? Is it actually in Bayeux? Because quite often things that are named after places aren't actually on display in those places. Anne, thank you. Anne's actually explained what I completely failed to do. So this is this was a one sheet wonder. So did you do it as a cross, Anne? But yes, I'll figure that out. So Ali's saying, thank goodness I'm not a weather forecast presenter. So I'm sure you know, but the weather forecast people work on a green screen. So when they're pointing at things, they actually can't see the thing that they're pointing at. Yeah, Ali, I would never be any good at that because left and right, that I'm not good at either. Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, Peggy, thank you. Hot peppermint tea and lemon. Yeah, so I drink a lot of peppermint tea. So actually, I might put some honey in it. That might help too. Anna's saying that your cards are lovely, Scylla and Anne. Thank you very much. Right, so Lorraine's saying the tapestry's still there, but she didn't see it. But there used to be a paper copy in Reading Town Hall. Well, I remember going to see it for a school trip. I'm just trying to think how long ago that was. Oh, about 37 years ago, something like that. Who knows? Claire. Hello, my friend. How are you? Whose birthday is it? She's watching and baking birthday cake. We do need to have coffee, Claire. Claire only lives up the road from me. And yeah, we need to sort that out. Right. Okay, so Anne's saying, Anne was doing, so this, we're back to this card again, One Sheet Wonder. So she was saying that sometimes you do it as a cross like this, but she was saying it was a diagonal cross. What's the point of me trying to explain it? Anyway, come back next week and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Oh dear. Do you come here just to hear me laugh? Oh no. Luke is 22 tomorrow, says Claire. That makes me feel really old. Good. Okay. We will text. We will sort it out. Okay. So since I've given up trying to explain that, so are you going to send cards? Going back to the thing, maybe you could send a card to invite somebody on a coffee date. How about that? That would be cool. Or a tea date, cake, cocktails, whatever works for you. My world, it's always coffee and cake. So yeah, there we go. So please do that, and we will discuss it next week. Okay, so excuse me. So let's move on to what's happening in the world of Stampin' Up. There is a kit sale still going on. There are some kits left, not many, but there are. So do go and check those out. So there's the kit sale going on. There is a joining offer still, an extra £60 worth of products. And the awesome thing about a starter kit is you pick your own products. When I joined, you got your products. You got whatever was on the list. Now you can pick your own. And because we are in pre-order for the online exclusives that are starting next week, it means, excuse me, it means that you could pick not yet seen products, like the ones I'm going to show you in a minute. So that is really cool. I can send you the link, send you the information, but the special offer for that finishes on the 31st. There is, so that's kind of all the specials and things that are happening. It's Craft Along tonight, so it's October Craft Along tonight. We've got 2 more before the end of the year. So there is one in November, and we are going to be using these papers in November. This one, it's called Nests of Winter, but we're going to be using these papers. And I've designed it so it can be Christmassy if you still need Christmas cards, or it can kind of be wintry birthdays, all occasion type cards instead. So whichever one, works for you. And then the December one, just so you know, December one is this one. It's called Regal Winter. Look at all these jewel tones down here. So that's what we're going to be using in December. December is an on-demand craft along. Basically, the date that I normally do craft along, it just falls really weird with Christmas. I can't remember which date it would have fallen on, but it just wasn't going to work. So there is still a craft along in December. I'll be sending out the kits as soon as I can, right at the very beginning of December, because I know it will take a while for them to get to you. And then the recording will release, I think, on the 17th. So then, you know, when you get yourself a couple of hours to yourself over the festive period, then you can have a treat and some crafting. With any luck, there will be sneak peeks to be seen as well. It depends if we can get all of the products through in time. So that's really exciting. Yeah, so as always, you can earn craft along for free, or you can place an order for the class. So there is my website. That's where you book. I can only send kits to the UK, but if you are elsewhere in the world, there is a PDF version. I work in inches and centimeters, and we have A4 cardstock. So if that works for you, you can by all means sign up. And that pretty much goes for most of my classes. Although there are times when I only work in inches. And I know, and it's crazy really, because when I was at school, they taught us in centimeters. And you know, I don't think I'm the only one. I'm 56. So the reason I'm laughing is because somebody asked me how old I was the other day, and I said 54. So I've lost 2 years somewhere along the line. And I was absolutely convinced until I actually went, yeah, I was born in 68. Yeah, that means I'm 56. Anyway, yeah, we were taught in centimeters, but when I became a paper crafter, the majority of the card and the paper that we used was 12 by 12, 12 inches by 12 inches. And the majority of tutorials that were available also worked in inches. So I just, in my paper crafting, I've just worked in inches. And I don't mind working in centimeters, but I don't like working in millimeters. So I'll work to like 8.5 centimeters, but if I have to go to millimeters, I get a bit twitchy. And saying I need to stick at 54. Yeah. Well, do you know what? My dad picked an age and then started counting backwards. So I might be, maybe I started that a bit early. I don't know. But yeah, Dad decided at one point that yeah, he was going to work backwards. So maybe that's what I'm doing. Ali said she was taught imperial weights and measures. Yeah, well, you see, we were taught in grams in like food tech. And interestingly, I switch between both when I'm baking. I often think in ounces, but weigh in grams. So, you know, I make a Victoria sandwich cake and I go 4 ounces of flour, 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of sugar, and 2 eggs. But I actually weigh 100 grams. Yeah. We've talked about this before, haven't we? The wild and wacky Amanda's brain. I am just, and I am special. I'm unique. That's what it is. That's why you love me, huh? Ali's saying the decimalization didn't come in till 71. Yeah, so I didn't start school till what, 72, 73. So decimalization was in then, but I don't know. I'm kind of that weird generation, I think, of doing different things. Right. I can feel my tickly throat getting worse, and I'm chatting more and more, and I'm laughing. So I need to protect it. You're not old, Ali. Okay, so let's turn this camera around. Oh, let's move that over a bit. Sorry. Yeah, Amanda, unique. That. You know what? That is so important. We all have our own special things that we do. Mine is mostly chatting nonsense today. Right. I am going to show you a new stamp set. Look at this. Actually, this is really funny because if you look at the stamps and you go, well, Amanda, that's really exciting. That's kind of blobby. That's like blobs. Oh dear, I am losing the will to live today. Right, come on. Get focused. Okay, so I'm going to take these out because I need to show you all the dies. So this is called Pretty Petals. And it is 6 stamps. And this is the main part of the plant. These are the flowers. And then you've got some additional flowers and leaves to go in. And it's one of those stamps, so you actually look at it, and like I said, it looks a bit blobby, doesn't it? But it's so cool. Let me just show you what it actually looks like when you stamp it. So the flowers, I don't know what these flowers are supposed to be. And at the end of the day, this is up to the artist, isn't it? Whoever drew this, designed this originally, it may be focused on a particular plant. It might not be. It might just be coming from their imagination. So this is the 2 main stamps. So that's this one and this one. And then these are the 3 here. And then I'll just turn that around and show you. And that's like a little corner stamp. Like so. But what I wanted to do was to show you the dies. That's why I've stamped it in advance. I am actually going to stamp with it in a minute, but I thought it was important to have these bits so you could see the stamped and the die cut images. So this one cuts out everything, including where the flowers go. This one, you're going to have to turn it around. This one cuts out the flowers. And then these cut out the leaves. That's that one. And that's that one. And then this one cuts out the 2 little flowers like that. So multiple plus points for this stamp set. If you don't like colouring in, there's no colouring in. If you don't like fussy cutting or cutting out, there's a die for that. Equally, if you love fussy cutting, you don't have to buy the dies and you can fussy cut them. So now there is a reason that this is living in here. So you'll see in a minute when I stamp it that you have to figure out where exactly the flowers go, because you kind of hold the stamp. So when you've got two stamps that like this that are designed to be stamped over the top of one another, obviously they're clear, they're photopolymer, so it's easy to see where you're positioning it, but you need to make sure it's in the right place. So I've done this so I can figure it out. So let me tell you the two ways I figured it out. So the first thing to know is this stamp is less than 3 days old and it's pink already. What does that tell you about the colours I've been using it on? Okay, so you look at this and it can sort of position in all sorts of places, but I'm going to show you a trick. There are 4 flowers in a line. Can you see that? They go on this left-hand edge in a line, and they're almost vertical. They're not quite, but they are almost vertical. So when you pick up your stamp, you want to position your stamp on your block. Let me put that down so that the 4 are in a line and they're almost vertical. Can you see that now? So if you look at look at that. So you've got 4 in a line like that, and that's where they stamp. And if you're going to be stamping lots of these and you don't have a stamping positioning system, then what you can do is get yourself, well, anything really. So in my instance, I've got a dimensional. We'll stick a dimensional there, and I know that that's the top right hand corner. So if I just put the stamp down, I'm not picking it up and going, okay, where am I going? I know that's the top right hand corner. You could put a little dot or a Sharpie marker or something on there, but just position it so you know. Okay. So let's pop that there. We're going to start with a lovely simple card. She says, famous last words. So I have got peach pie, basic white, old olive, photopolymer set, so I need my Stampin' mat. And I can't stress this enough, okay? This is one of the most inexpensive things in the catalogue. And along with the bone folder, these are worth their weight in gold. So if you haven't got one of these, put one on your next order. You need them for the photopolymer stamps, because photopolymer stamps don't have any foam on them. So you need it for the give. So I've got coordinating inks to my paper. So I've got old olive and pecan pie. Now, something to mention, let me just get that stamped image out again. Ooh. Something to mention about these stamps is they have dotty bits on them. This is how they are designed. They are etched like that. And if you look at the case, you can actually see it. It's actually tiny, tiny dots. So don't be surprised if this looks dotty, because it's supposed to. If when you ink up your stamp, you get bubbles on your stamp, the stamp itself, chances are you've over inked your ink pad. And this happens in my world a lot because I'm always over enthusiastic when I'm re-inking. But if that's the case, just press a bit of paper towel on it and just lift up a little bit of ink. Okay. So really super, super simple card. I'm using one of my favorite sentiment sets for this one, the Big Happy Birthday. Simply said, it's just got everything that you might need on it. And I am going to stamp my happy birthday in peach pie. Don't know, can you see that? And I've stamped the sentiment first, so I know that my flower's going to be in the middle of the gap that's left. This is actually quite a big stamp. It will just about fit on your ink pad, but I do tend to, when I've got fairly big stamps, to take the ink pad to the stamp, and then I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to tell you a look at the blotchiness of that. That's because I've got too much ink on my ink pad. Just take a bit of ink off my ink pad. It's going to horrify some of you. There you go. Shall we do that again? Let's do that again. There we go. Ooh, my happy birthday was nearly upside down. Let's try that. There we go. That's better. There we go. So now the dots that we've got are the dots that the artist put in there. How cool is that? So we're then going to stamp the flowers. So I know that this is the top right hand corner. So when I ink this up, I am going to position this here and just kind of double check. And the easiest way to do it, I don't know, am I getting my hair in the, in the camera? Is to kind of look directly over the top. Give it a good press. And it is in the perfect position. Now, I do think that these flowers kind of look a little bit like snowdrops. So I think that would probably work as well. So let me just clean these. Told you this was a super simple card. We will get a bit more technical in a minute. Let's Let's pop that on there. And then let's get that little corner stamp, the flowers. For the inside. So just going to stamp that in the inside there we go. There we go. So then we've got a lovely little image on the inside. There is so much glue on my desk. I will give it a good scrub after class. And there we go. So really simple, straightforward card, but the stamps are doing the work. So that's the first one. Then I thought, Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. So I got some cherry cobbler ink and some old olive ink. I got the Merry Christmas from Reindeer Fun. Now, this is actually the stamp set that we're using tonight in Craft Along, actually. So let's just stamp that Merry Christmas. And actually, I'm going to stamp it in both old olive and cherry cobbler. So I can decide in a little while which one I want. So let me have a trimmer. Because you never know. We'll get to assembling the last card. And we won't be sure. I know because I've cut this so many times. This needs a 1/2 inch strip or about 12 millimeters or 1.2 centimeters. There we go. That's that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is do a bit Blue Peter styly. And here's one I made earlier. So I'm going to stamp the leaves. And then, you know, I said earlier that this die will cut sort of with the flowers. It will also cut just the leaves. You might be thinking, well, you know, why would we want to do that? Well, if you do that, you can end up with this. And if you then die cut, move these out of the way, all of the little flowers, you can 3D all of the flowers. Now, this this may look like an impossible dream to be able to put those on here in the right place. Since I've already said, you know, sort of lining it up, you've got to work quite methodically to do that. But what I've done is, here's one I die cut and I stamped and die cut earlier. So because I can work from this, I can figure out which flower is which. And I've already put my dimensionals on. So that one goes there. And then that one goes up there. I'm doing the big ones first because they're easier. So as I said, this stamp set is actually releasing next week. It's part of the new online exclusives. And there is such a wide variety of stamps in this release, including some otters. And they are amazing. I'm just taking my time. That one's there. Oh, I'm just, well, I think I've probably got a couple more in the bag. That's that one. Now, obviously, you could, let's see what other ones I've got. You could stamp it and then put them over the top, but I wouldn't be sure that you would get, that one goes there. I wouldn't be sure that you would get the, each time you positioned it, you might be able to see it underneath. So that's got to be that one. I'm missing a flower. Oh, I can see it. It's okay. Stuck in the inside. There we go. So obviously you've got the dimension. So then I thought, well, what else can I do to bling this up a little bit? So I've got my Wink of Stella, which again, like the Stampin' mat and the Tombow glue and the bone folder, these are essential things in your craft room. So whenever I use Wink of Stella, I always squeeze out a little bit on a block, because if I try and squeeze it when I'm working on a project, what will happen is it will just be a big blob. So all I'm going to do is just go over the stamped images of the flowers. Now, this is actually going to do multiple things. So it is going to give it a sparkle. But the other thing it's going to do is it's going to lift up some of that ink. And I'll show you in a second, because what it will do is it will make your Wink of Stella ever so slightly pink, or whatever color you are working with. This is actually a really good tip as well. If you've got gaps or blotchy bits in your stamping, because you can kind of infill them as well. So there we go. Let's see how well you can actually pick that up. Yeah. There is a little bit there. And so I thought sort of Christmassy colours, you see. That was the way my brain was working. So I've got cherry cobbler, old olive layer. Then I've got this. This is the polka dots from the 3D embossing folders basics. They come in a pack of 3. The linen one is the one that I use all the time. But I've been trying to use the spots a bit more. It's feeling sad. Wasn't getting used. Now these dots are really quite bumpy. So you do need to make sure that anything that you're gluing down on it has either got dimensionals on it or plenty of glue. So this is going to go on here. And then we're going to have the debate. Well, there won't be a debate. It'll be the cherry cobbler. Look. So this is something that I get asked a lot. How do you put colors together? How do you decide which things go where? And I literally do it like this. This is the way I always work. So I put things down and go, am I happy with that? Yes, I am. So that Merry Christmas, that is actually fine. It works and it's subtle. But if I put that Merry Christmas, that's much more punchy. So actually, here you go. I'm looking at this now and going, well, that happy birthday is actually too light. Or this happy birthday even. That happy birthday is too light. But if I actually did that, that would be better, wouldn't it? So I'm going to upgrade this one now. I'll come back to this one in a second, but let's just upgrade this one because it needs a little bit of extra something. So let me cut a little bit off there. There's my happy birthday. So let's look at that. And that's a very nice card. It's fine. But we put that on it. And it's more subtle in the sense of the green with the green. But actually, I think that works better. If you're shouting at the computer now, you can put in the comments, go, no, Amanda, what are you doing? Or, yeah, that's the right decision. Let me know. Look. So much happier with that now. Let's go back to this one. We've actually got to do the inside yet. Although, I think I'm running out of cardstock. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, this time, let's put them in the bottom corners. Okay. Let's see how many of you prefer the green. on that birthday card, and then I'll just show you again with this one with the Merry Christmas, but I'm going to put this on dimensionals. It will make this card quite chunky. So if you have a postage system like we have in the UK, where it's done on sort of thickness of the card, you might want to do this flat. Do this layer flat because you've got dimensionals on there. But it just gives it much more presence. And then that Merry Christmas, or that Merry Christmas, has to be that one. Yeah, see, look, all the red. Cherry cobbler is for the win. Okay. And then I haven't decided. This is kind of my next thing. I'm deciding whether or not this needs any bling. So obviously it's got bling because all of the flowers are sparkly. But whether or not, do we want a little bit of gold? That's Christmas. Do we want a little bit of silver? That's much more subtle. The silver's much more subtle. I wouldn't put black on it. So what do we think? Do we want some silvery bits? Some gold bits? Or nothing? There you go. You can let me know in the comments whilst I tidy up my ink pants. No, this is interesting. I love it because I can imagine all the comments coming in going, no, Amanda, don't do it. Don't do it. So we'll give you a second whilst I'm tidying up. Look, all these dimensional backings everywhere. Oh, so gold, nothing, or gold. Okay. Is the answers. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is do 3 little gold ones. Let's see. Because I'm kind of thinking, so they're the little gold ones. That would actually be a big gold one. So little gold ones. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Well, we've got 3 little bits of gold. I can kind of put my fingers over that. So there you go. No bling. Little bit of bling. And there's my rescued happy birthday. Although I'm still not sure. I think it's better with the green, with the old olive. So there we go. So this stamp set, this is called Pretty Petals. It's launching next week, along with lots of other online exclusive products. I have been asked already, and it's only October, whether or not we're having celebration in January and February, and the answer is yes. And there will be a new catalogue in January. The answer is also yes. There will be more scrapbooking coming in January. Yes. And my watercolor class is also happening in January. So you need to keep an eye on your emails because there'll be lots and lots of things and reminders coming out. But this is such a pretty set and really straightforward to use. Just remember your 4 flowers in a line and mark your stamp. Thank you so much. Let me get rid of that look. Honestly, I have to hoover up all these dimensionals because I scoot them. If you see me scooting, because they go on the floor. Right, I will love you and leave you. I will see lots of you tonight. So I shall look forward to that. If you're one of my team members, I'll see you in an hour or so. And I will see everybody else next week. I will be back here at 2 o'clock UK time every Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care till then. Goodbye.